Hey everyone, I'm super stoked. Here we are on Inside Leaders Heads, and my guest today is Joe Tower. Joe, just so you know, I have prompts and stuff. I know I gave you the questions ahead of time. That doesn't mean it's not going to be a spontaneous conversation.
They
I just
were
didn't want you to
hard.
be.
They were hard
Huh?
questions, Mark. They
Were
were tough
there?
ones. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I just didn't want you to be surprised.
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of started off, and then the rest is pretty much you. But I'll be your tour guide.
I appreciate that.
And so,
Keep me on
anyways,
track.
that's right. So, everybody, this is Inside Leaders Your Heads, not Inside Leaders Heads. Hey, how did that extra S get there? Wow, okay. I'll have to fix
Le-
that. As you can
leaders,
see, I'm not a
leaders
professional.
leaders
Yeah,
is that.
Leaders is Heads.
Yeah.
Um,
Double plural.
that's right. That's because I stutter, just like the President of the United States, so we're
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
But
we're fine.
it's part of Finding Your Voice series, and that tagline. So this is my company is eocstudios.com. It stands for Einsteins of Creativity. And for the longest time, until maybe 2.5 months ago, I thought the quote about if you expect a fish to climb a tree, then you'll be disappointed and the fish will never live up to its potential. Thought that was Einstein, but it turns out it's not. But I don't care. It's still a cool quote. So I'm
Great
stuck with
quote.
the name. I don't care, like Einstein. But don't be a fish trying to climb up a tree. That's kind of my tagline. One of my taglines. I have too many taglines. Anyways, so now I get to say, so I get to introduce you and tell you why I wanted to talk to you. So I believe the first time I saw you is when Ned Edwards, who was actually the guest Saturday, I think I
Uh,
saw you on her show, and then I contacted you. And I got
yep.
all excited. Woo! He's an editor. He works for a publishing company. I'm trying to make a book. So, anyways, but you were a cool guy too, so I wanted to,
Well, I
yeah. So we
appreciate that. And
connected.
we have a lot in common. We have a
Yeah,
lot of mutual meeting points, similar meeting
yeah,
points. Yep.
yeah.
And Danette's the best. She's like the mad connector. She's an amazing
The
person.
mad
The
connector.
mad connector.
I like it. But I mean, that's why I want to do. Actually, I might have you a second time on a different show. Here, I'll just show it. Put this up here. So I do this other thing. It's called Spontaneous Combustion Events for Disruptors by Disruptors. But that's going to be all about publishing and writing, creative. But
Oh, great. Yeah, we
yeah,
should definitely
yeah,
we should do
yeah.
that.
I
That's
had one show with Hamad Siddiqui. He was pretty good. He's published 3 books, one ebook and a regular book, and then he's going to do a. I didn't understand the third one. It's a combo, both.
that that's also the publishing industry is an industry that needs some disruption right now. So
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah. And you're just the man to do it because you're an editor.
Let me what do you got? Let me put a carrot in your text.
Yeah, there you go. So now you get to tell us your elevator speech if you have one. Otherwise, just kind of introduce you. Like, who are you to you?
Yeah. I'm Joe Tower. I'm the executive editor and one of the co-founders of Right Way. We are
Here, I'm
a
bringing this cool thing up.
yeah. Right Way's we are a full service literary consulting company. We offer content, product, services, and consultation for literary projects that range from everything from nonfiction books to fiction manuscripts to whatever Mark is working on. Design, branding, websites. Yeah, so we run the gamut. Our big goal, our ethos is that we're trying to demystify the publishing industry for aspiring writers and help them become published authors. So that's the whole mission.
And it was, I mean, my first conversation with him was so excellent. I mean, he just like totally encouraging. Given my background of over 75 rejections for my novel,
All it
it was
takes is one,
refreshing.
Mark. All
Huh?
it takes is one
Oh, I
yes.
know. I just
You
gave up
know,
though. It's going like
I
whatever.
but that's what happens, right? Is
Yeah.
and the publishing industry is interesting, and I'm not here to talk shit, but the publishing industry is kind of like still operating on this kind of archaic model where it likes to be mysterious and elusive and it's not. And I think that the more writers know, and the more tools they have at their disposal, we're gonna solve this problem. We've got a big disparity. We've got over 80% of people want to write a book. Not enough of that 80% are doing it. So we need to tip the scales again and give people, put the power back in the writer's hands.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, Holly Weird is like that too.
Oh yeah. Totally different beast, but still a beast.
Oh yeah, but just still weird.
yeah, super weird.
And you think the weird thing, I think, in both industries, because I've been involved in both, you'd think it's like, okay, writing a book, acting, writing movies, doing music. I'm involved in music too. And it's like, you'd think there'd be creatives, but the people managing it, they forget. So everybody goes, it's the music business, it's show business, it's the publication business. That is true. You have to care about the business if you're a creative. But guess what? If you're not a creative, you have to care about the other side that's not the business too. And they don't seem to.
Well, yeah, it's the commercialization of art is like a tough tightrope to walk. And I think that there are a lot of really creative people who know nothing about the business, and there are a lot of business oriented people who are not in touch with the creative part. And we need to bring those two sides closer together.
Yeah.
Because
I think you really gotta do it.
Maybe not alone. Never alone.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll get a whole movement going.
Cool. I'm up for that.
Yeah.
I'll help.
Yep. All right. Sounds good.
Maybe
You're on
not
board.
necessarily my book. We'll see if that's
You're enlisted.
But I'll be
One
there
yes. One yes, Mark. That's all you need.
I know. One. It's kind of like Curly in City Slickers.
Yeah.
One thing.
Just one thing, man. Just one thing.
All right. Cool.
In his case, it was gold, which I also get. I get that.
Yeah. That's true.
The one thing is gold.
Yeah. So the next two kind of run together, but I separate them, but you can bring them together. So this one's gonna be in 3 sentences or less. Describe your passion. That's what moves you toward action, drives you. And then the second one, I just bring them up together, is describe your purpose in 3 sentences left. So what legacy do you want to leave behind? But you can smush them together because a lot of people do. And then don't worry about the 3 sentences. No one. Well, that's not true. Guess who got it in 3 sentences or less?
Who?
Net. Everybody else was like,
she was ready though. She was prepared.
Blah, blah. And then she's like, kaboom, kaboom. Score. Anyway.
Well, wait, does my 3 sentences start now?
No, you can take as many sentences as you want.
These are tough questions. I mean,
I know. I help people get inside your head, and I consider you a leader, and people can learn from you.
I mean, that's just you then. I don't know what I'm doing here. So these are very, very tough questions, and I know we talk about them, and we talk about them in terms of our personal missions and like why we do what we do. I definitely think I'm still working on mission and passion and purpose. But what I will say is where I'm at and what I've come to is my passion is story, and my purpose is to help other people tell theirs. And that the legacy that I want to leave behind, I'm really concerned with story. I mean, it's a broad but really powerful concept, and I don't know that I want to leave behind a legacy as much as I just have to keep learning from my purpose on how to tell my own story, and maybe that'll be my legacy.
Right, but if you do the helping other people tell their story, then you've left a legacy.
Okay, then there we go. Then I'm done. Then I already did it, and I didn't even know.
We're sorry, people.
Tower out.
That's right. No, but you did do it in 3 sentences of life. I was impressed. You
All
did
right,
both
cool.
in 3 sentences
Cool.
of life.
Me and Danette.
So,
all right, I feel good about it now.
Yeah. So I mean, there's 2 kinds of legacy, right? There's one where you do something so great, magnanimous that people recognize. Oh, Joe Towers saved the world by creating world peace, or you impacted hundreds of lives, and all those people published books, and you had a finger in it. And without you, they would not have had those books. And guess what? To me, big books is one of the, especially a good one, a good story or nonfiction or fiction, is a legacy. It will go on forever. I mean, I'm still reading Charles Dickens.
That's true. That's a great point. And I do think stories and books are obviously everlasting. The oral tradition is like why we have history. It's why it's a very powerful thing. It's why we have certain perspectives on history. It's why we maybe have the wrong perspective on certain elements in history. Story is super powerful. So that's not
talking about any current events.
That's not commentary. That's not commentary. But I think it's a very powerful thing, and I am always very impressed by other people's ability to tell their own story, and I'm invested in those individuals that are struggling with finding a way to tell their story, and I'm very interested in finding the places where you might not presume story is. And finding it there in those places as well. I've, as a writer, I've definitely worked in a lot of industries like marketing and advertising, and extended reality, where you might not at first believe there's a story there, but the people that work in those industries who truly care about what they're creating know that that's not the case, and that is such a crucial component. So I like finding stories there as well, and I like working with like-minded individuals who feel the same way.
But don't you think if you look in the right way or with the right determination, there's a story almost everywhere?
Probably everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't always find it, even the best, but cool.
Yeah. No, that's
awesome.
true. Cool.
As awesome sauce. I can't remember who said that, but it's a stupid phrase.
Who did say awesome sauce?
And, it was either a commercial or a friend, and they all run together in my mind. So let's talk about the origin story. Actually, so the origin story of the origin story is the first time I did the show.
Oh, yeah.
The origin story.
All right.
And then I just kind of riffed for like 3 minutes, and the guest was like, "What are you doing?" I go, "Yeah, I'll tell you an orange story, or your watermelon story, or your pear story."
Lucky for you, I don't have an origin story. I only have an orange story. So
okay, cool. So Joe Tower is going to describe the events or series of events that led you to discover your passions and purpose, and it's his orange story.
My orange story. So this is a tough one. I am the same sort of reckless fool that I was probably in my 20s. And I think the fact that I am anywhere where I am right now is by virtue, I'll give myself some credit, my virtue of like an unwillingness to give up. But also the types of people that I have had the luxury and pleasure of meeting and associating with and working with. I meandered. I did a lot of meandering throughout most of my 20s and some of my 30s, and I think it. Although my passion for story is something that has always been there and has been maybe a difficult thing for me to describe or manifest or get my hands around. It's always been there. I just have been lucky to meet and work with some people that really helped me direct it in very constructive ways.
Would you consider them like mentors, or just they were just there, right time, right place, or they actually purposefully
Yeah,
helped?
some. I think, yeah, colleagues, mentors, people that I've looked up to, friends, people that, people that I had the, I had a blessing to be able to invest an unconditional amount of trust in. And then some people that were willing to take a risk, and individuals that were kind of willing to take a risk. And so I'm very grateful because, and I said this to Danette as well, I would be nowhere if it weren't for many of the people that I've had the good fortune of knowing.
So I'd guess that that's true of most people. Unfortunately, most people don't recognize that. So
well,
it's good that you say it. I wouldn't be where I am without other people too.
True, and
ugly.
And the ugly. I did give myself some credit. I can be very stubborn, and I can be sometimes very persistent. But I don't begrudge people wanting to maintain a narrative of lone wolfing it, of everything I got myself. I think it can be a dog eat dog world out there. And I think the strong ones are really able to look around and see their network as the assets that they are. And those that don't, it's unfortunate that they don't realize the truly supportive and nurturing community that's surrounding them.
Cool. Hey, by the way, I might give you 5%, but I'm going to create a T-shirt. I am a meanderer.
Oh, hey, it's all yours.
And then I'm going to rewrite the words to I'm a wanderer. I'm saying I'm a meanderer. I'm a meanderer. I'm a meanderer. Meander. Anyway.
Oh man, the royalties will just come flowing in.
I don't know if Del Shannon's still alive, but he's probably going, "You can't steal my song."
Does he have? Yeah. Is there any kind of a like if he has some kind of a still has some rights over that song?
He might. It's weird. So I mean, not to get off track, but it's a slight rabbit trail. The music industry is so bizarre because there's some songs that are the same age as that are public domain, and then there are others that aren't. And then like Bob Dylan just sold his whole, well, not his whole catalog, 600 of his songs for like 300 million.
Yeah.
Which personally, I don't think that's enough. I mean, I don't, because I think he should have got more.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because there's so many songs that he wrote that people did covers of, and then I'll go, oh yeah, that's a good Dylan song. That's from his second album. And someone will go, but it's by somebody else. And they'll go, what? That's a Dylan song? I go, absolutely.
It absolutely is.
Anyway, yeah. I'm one of those completists in music where if I like anybody, I have to get their whole catalog and then every group they were in before that and all their solo stuff.
You got to round out the collection, Mark.
Yeah, I know.
Do you have do you have the like a Sonico file where you've got like your vinyl all cataloged in shelves? And
we're packing to move, but I was going to show you my crates of records already packed. Yes, I do.
I figured.
So, anyways, now back to Joe.
Let's talk more about Bob Dylan.
We can.
Talk about a storyteller right there, that guy.
Oh yeah, no kidding. That guy's amazing. And he tells the story of the story. And you know what's great about him? He's written so many good songs, so many lyrics, and yet he will openly admit, he goes, oh, I borrowed those from this song. But he made it better. But he'll admit it. Other people,
that's a strong artist.
He's not like Vanilla Ice, who said, no, I didn't steal Queens Under Pressure. Their bass line goes, do, 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 do. Mine goes, do, 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 do. I go, that's the same thing, dude.
I do recall that. That
debacle. Hilarious.
Poor Vanilla Ice. Like,
I kind of like him, but that interview, I'm like, dude, just
he performed
back then borrowed.
Didn't he perform at Mar-a-Lago's like New Year's Eve party? I think.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, thrown down with with the Jules Giuliani down in
Oh,
Florida.
wow.
Yeah, he was looking rough. I'm not afraid to say it. Vanilla Ice was looking a little haggard.
Yeah, he's had a hard life, ladies and gentlemen.
Time has not been gentle.
And now is the moment where we ask for charity. Please donate whatever you can to help Vanilla Ice.
Don't let him melt.
Yeah,
Don't let him melt.
Go eocstudios.com and donate what you can.
Don't let him melt.
Oh. All right, ladies, we're going to get back. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get back on track. Maybe. So we're going to talk about the drive. So describe how your passions and purpose, you've sort of already covered this, but if you have any other stories, that'd be good. Describe how your passions and your purpose drive your thoughts and actions every day.
Well, my business and creative partner, the writer Rhea Fry, she and I both feel the same way, that I think it's that same passion and purpose that really just keeps us coming back. Mm-hmm. Back to work every day, back on this journey of building our business and really trying to give. We're really trying to give away and give out as much information and pull back the curtain far enough and provide our audience with enough tools so that, you know, it's a journey towards obsolescence. Like, we're trying to make ourselves obsolete in a lot of ways because we so desperately want writers to be self-sufficient. So I think that's where it gets us every day. And I love to read. I love to work on my clients' projects. I love talking to my clients about their projects. I love brainstorming with my clients about their projects. I love finding the best way through the process with them, and I find it totally it rewards that feeling of purpose. It really satisfies it.
Yeah, I am a writer. I'm not published, but I will be. But I think I need that other person. I need the Joe Towers of the world to bounce things off, because it's like, otherwise it's kind of like my music. I can tell a song that I wrote all myself, recorded myself, produced myself. I can tell the difference between that and when I had at least one other person, like a drummer or whatever.
Yeah,
it comes more alive. Whereas others kind of like, I don't know, self-centered.
Well, it's that extra set of eyes, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Joe, we need you.
And the thing of it is,
but we need you.
I think editors get a bad rap. I think that writers can have bad experiences, and if you're an unpublished or an up and coming writer, I think that it can feel like a gamble to invest in an editor or not. I think there are plenty of writers that are so willing to finish a project and hand it to their spouse or their friend or their family and, welcome, good or bad, a whole bunch of bias. And, I do think that it's very difficult, but I'd rather
give it to an editor like you, even though we're friends with each other. I want here, Joe, you're a professional. Take it, because my fiance can kill me in one word.
You do have to.
That was complicated.
You do have to navigate that relationship. It's like, I think for a writer, I think selecting an editor is like finding a good therapist. You got to find someone that's going to do their best to unearth the intersection between what you intended and what is ultimately marketable and sellable. That's a good editor. A good editor is the one that really has your intentions in mind and wants to preserve your voice and wants to preserve that intent, but is also the one that's going to give you that tough love to be like, hey, we really need to do X, Y, or Z if you want to see this on, if you want to have this to have a chance.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's like, when you were talking, that described my, I was going to say my copywriting business. I've had 2 clients, but
Hey,
I mean,
that's more than none,
can.
Mark. That's more than none.
That's true. Thank you. And now the math lesson. 2 is more than 0.
Who's the only subject I literally couldn't get through. So
That's right.
I mean, if that's all the math I have to give.
Yeah, but to be a good copywriter, you need to understand the client, so you speak in their voice, not yours.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
they'll hire you once and go.
Well, exactly. I mean, that applies to LA and the film and TV industry, especially the TV industry. Like, you got to learn to put your ego aside. You got to learn to, like, if you're going to work on a TV show, you got to learn to, like, break story and write in someone else's voice. Like, that's a weird confluence of emotions right there.
Oh
it
yeah.
might seem counterintuitive, but that, and as an editor, that's in part, that's what you have. It's about knowing simultaneously what's good for your author client, and also preserving what it is that they need, and being able to recognize what they need, and being able to recognize what they want to do.
Okay, so next one, when I hand you my completed manuscript, be gentle but firm.
Damn, I am notorious. I am notoriously firm but loving is how.
Okay,
it is.
good. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yep.
Yeah, when you were talking though, it was kind of weird because I remember when I was an actor. Actually, most actors never get paying gig whatsoever, so I would, from that standpoint, I was successful, but I never made millions of dollars or whatever. I think my biggest years was like $35,000 in a year. But when you were talking, my 3 biggest roles, one I got because I was from Chicago, and at that time, like John Cusack, John Malkovich, and all these Chicago actors were big, and they like, do Chicago. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, right there, that's it, you got the part. I'm like, what? Then the other one, I was in a Mira Winningham movie, and I played the young version of the main bad dude, just because I looked like him. So none of these. My point is, none of them were from acting ability. And then I was on Northern Exposure for 2 episodes, and I just, because I looked kind of like an Alaskan doctor. So it had nothing to do with my acting ability. It's like, well, he's a big burly guy.
Mark, that's Alaskan doctor is such a specific type.
That's right. Anyway, yeah, so shallow.
Was that Alaskan doctor enough? That's what I was going for.
What? Was
that Alaskan doctor enough?
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. Oh man, that's great.
Sure. So this one, I kind of like this one because it's you looking at the world, looking at you, and what do you think they see every day based on your purpose and your passion?
I mean, I look forward to the day when the world doesn't see me on a fucking Zoom call. Let's do that soon.
So you're going for the literal vision. I was talking about the metaphorical or the allegorical see, and you're like, so someone sees me live, like right there, in person, they can hear my breath and stuff.
I'm very literal, Mark.
I know. Well, you are an editor.
Yeah. See, it all makes sense. It all adds up. That's, again, that's a very, like, that's a deep and excavating question, and I don't know if I have the presence of mind to answer it, or if I've even had the presence of mind to think about it. I think that I think that how I think the world views me is probably purely aspirational. And of course, I think as you grow older, you start to realize that either the world or the universe or the people around you may not see you in that way. I think you can go through such a bulk of your life, especially being a privileged young white dude. You can really think, you can really believe a certain point of view on yourself, that you're good and you're trying and you deserve to be rewarded.
Right.
And I think as you get older, you start to realize that most of that means very little. And I think at this stage of the game, I hope that people see the person that I am, and the person and what I'm doing, and the alliances that I choose to have, and the soapboxes that I choose to get on, and the movements that I choose to get behind. I hope they always see someone who's trying very hard.
Okay. And as one of your adoring public, I could say we do.
Thank you, Mark.
Just thought I'd throw that in there for you.
It's very much appreciated. I do love the fanfare.
There you go. So then this one, can't remember. It was my third show. This is like my 10th show. I think it was my third show. I think it was Jeff Clark. So, oh no. Ari, I take that back. Jeff, I like you, but you didn't do it. So Andrea Couple had a post, and Andrea Couple? She's like an ex-CNN newscaster.
Oh, yeah.
She does Time for Coffee, by the way. Great podcast.
Yeah. Great podcast. Yep.
Yeah, she's got an awesome voice. She's so professional. I feel like mini-me or something, because she's just like got that great voice, and she like asks great questions. And so anyway, back to the whole thing of this question. She wrote a post about 2.5 months ago. So one of her things in life, her passion and purpose, is to help youngsters, kids either late high school, early college, kind of how they find their way in life to find a job, all that kind of stuff. And what she said is she kind of knocked people that do this in general, and one of them is me, because I made a bunch of posts on this. I know this is a long story for this question, but she's
it's got a story.
Said,
you found the story in this question.
Yeah. So when you're that young, finding your passion and living your passion and like picking a major and all that kind of stuff, you don't know what you want at that time. So you just kind of try things and check things out and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, the evolution of passion and purpose, it's an inquiry, because I don't know the answer, and I'm searching for the answer. And this is my show. I'm selfish about it.
Sure.
But do you think that passions and purpose evolve over time? Or are they set early and then they just kind of morph a little? And then I'll end with go.
Great. Excellent segue, by the way. Yeah, I absolutely think they change. And I absolutely think that it's okay for them to maybe always be in flux or transition. And I think that it just depends person to person. I feel like I know a handful of people who knew what they were going to do with their life at 10 or whatever. And,
Wow.
And
I can't even imagine that.
Or you have, figures in history who are like, people are, Mozart playing the piano when he's a kid. Like, it's just like I think with some people there's an element of knowing. Or you look at who's the young gal, that incredible poet laureate who recited a poem. She's 22. She discovered her love of poetry at a very young age, and she has not only had the passion for it, but chose at a young age the purpose, like found the purpose as well. Exactly. So I think that you can find a passion and not have a purpose. I think you can feel a purpose and not have a passion. I think, I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb and say at any point it's anybody's game, like best of luck. I think that the individuals that know that they have to do a little work to find it are hats off to them. I don't think I knew mine early, and I think that I have found and abandoned several passions and purposes over the course of my life.
That's okay.
What are you gonna do? I'm here now, right?
Vancouver seal of approval. That's okay, Joe.
I wish you had a graphic that was like a giant. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah.
Marky B approved, Tom.
And then it's just, it's okay, right there.
That's
on
right.
my face. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well,
So
that's
I
pretty
think
cool.
they do change. I think
Okay.
they have to change because, I mean, you look at the situation that we've been in for this last year, and my knell for COVID and is reprioritization. And with reprioritization might in fact come with the reordering or reorganization of what I give my attention to and what I give my energy to, and thereby might granting passion to something else or something new or something different. So I think, yeah, by virtue of circumstance, I think they don't have to be steadfast. They can be,
Yeah.
and have been, but if you don't know, or you are running out of it, or finding something new late in the game, good on you. There's nothing wrong with that.
So no offense to all of my previous guests, but I must say that was the best damn answer to that question so far.
Come on.
No, because you got it both ways, but the way you said it brought it together. Some people,
Yes, thank you. So
some people, but I love
the best non-answer answer.
Yeah, but when you said some people know it at 10, my head exploded. 10? I can't remember what I was doing at 10. I had building a fort out of mud or something.
I have a buddy who writes for TV, and he knew after watching his first episode of the A-Team that he wanted to write for a television series. His whole life was geared towards that from moment one. So I think he's written for several TV shows. He's written for a bunch of like Law and Order and SWAT and
cool. That is so cool.
Always wanted it. He always wanted it. He worked his ass off. But yeah, that was his passion and his purpose.
Yeah, I had a public access, and we'll leave it at that, comedy show. And I have it.
Are there archives? Are there archives? Come on.
I have it on VHS. So that's how old it is. There's like 20 episodes. It was pretty good, actually. I mean, okay, this might sound conceit or something, but I liken it to like early Kids in the Hall and stuff like that. It was just really weird.
Ahead of the curve.
I loved it. But anyway. No, but I admire that practice. So tell him the insignificant Mark Bencover, who will be somebody someday, admires him.
Absolutely. We will all be somebody someday.
Yeah, somebody. I want to be somebody. Well, never mind. That just reminded me of The Jerk. Look, I'm somebody.
A classic.
Anyway, so the present. We're talking about the present. So you talk about your passion, your purpose. So like right now, what are you most What are you most passionate about right now in your life, and how does that feed your purpose? I gotta know the answer, but I want you to tell.
My passion is right now is our company is Right Way. I think we're doing, we just launched at the beginning of last year, and really thought we were going to be dead in the water, and came out swinging. And we have a really spectacular client base. We have we're all really aligned with how we want to build, and it feels very authentic to me. And not only did the company like really save my life a little bit, or the pursuit of it, but it feels like it started to feel like an extension of myself in that way.
Cool. And if I can help with that at all, with a best-selling nonfiction book,
a best-selling book.
But you know what? I mean, I can bring this up later too, but I just got to put it up because when you first told me your website, it totally, I got confused. So I'm going to put that up for everybody. It's rightwayco.
Rightwayco.com.
You get a totally different company that's trying to sell you
software, I think.
Software and all this kind of stuff. So Joe works for rightwayco.com.
Rightway Co.
It's very cool. Go check it out. But we're not done yet. I just want to bring that up just because.
I appreciate it. No, I appreciate the clarification because we wouldn't want. I mean, I want Rightway Software to succeed, but yeah, I want more people to go to rightwayco.com.
Yeah, that's right, and it's even more personal to me now because so I own the obviously EOCstudios.com, which stands for Einsteins of Creativity. But then I was looking into getting that for Instagram. There is a R&B rapper artist who has EOC Studios LLC. So now I'm gonna probably have to change my name. Or I can go to her and go, hey, EOCstudios.com. The name is for $10,000. No.
You could just spell out, yeah. Well, EOCstudios.com.
I was thinking of doing ease. Unfortunately, you can't capitalize in thing because I was thinking of just adding a lowercase s, so ease of CF Studios. So it'd be Einstein, but we'll see. I was just kind of upset. Like,
domains. It's may the quickest.
No kidding.
Fucking quick draw situation. Yeah. I can't even, I couldn't even get a website, a domain like that was my name. I feel like everything's taken. It's all taken. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it'd be really cool to have a publishing or a blog called Mightier Than the Sword. It's for sale for $50,000.
Stop it.
No, I'm serious. Mightier. No, not me. I didn't get it. So someone thought
someone has it and they're trying to sell it for $50,000.
Yeah, I'm like, crap. So I'm not going to tell you any of my other domains.
There's got to be a way around that, though. I feel like you could.
Well, you can do. I think it's cheating, though. You can do other things aside from .com, but then.
Yeah.
The point. If you don't have all of them, yeah, I don't know.
Actually, JoeTower.com, I have to say, I know the Joe Tower of JoeTower.com. He's a graphic artist and designer in Minneapolis, and he's a very cool guy. I bought JoeTower.net.
There you go.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't know.
So basically what Joe's saying is if your name's Joe Tower, you're cool.
You're so cool. Automatic.
If your name is Mark Vancouver, you're a party of one. Which is actually not true. So the original spelling, there's actually one other Mark Vancouver, but they spell it the original Russian thing, which is VNTKOWER.
Oh, but really?
We changed the spelling. And I wish we picked the original spelling because then we could tell people how it's pronounced because it's not like a regular English word. But I got teased a lot when I was a kid. Vancouver. Oh, bend over. Oh, bend over. And they just did everything with the name. Like, whatever.
Classic. Yeah. There is no limit to the cool creativity of elementary school kids and your name. It just. Yeah.
But the weirdest thing is that was the mildest. Well, we won't go there. Someday I'll tell my story, my life story, not my story in my book. But anyway.
There you go.
Yeah. So I know you don't think you're wise, but I do. I think you have wisdom to share. You have experience. What did you say? 85%? That seems low. But 85% of people want to write a book, and you're just involved in that industry. And I mean, you're a professional editor. You have your own publishing company with 2 partners.
Well, 2 partners. Yep.
And so you're trying to help everybody get the story out. So a lot of people are interested in that. Or if you have just general sage advice from how you live. So what advice or suggestions do you have for our audience about finding and living their purpose driven by their passions?
I feel like I'm repeating myself.
That's okay.
I think I said this to that. Make friends, don't acquire contacts. It's not.
You're talking up on LinkedIn and stuff, or?
Yeah, just in general, really connect and ask a lot of questions, and those both sound like good advice.
What to you?
Well, I think.
I mean, I have a definition, but
I would implore anyone to trust their gut and remember that there's no single way that you have to do something. And I think we live in an age of social media. We live in an age of like everything dominating for your attention. There's a lot of noise. There's just a lot of noise. And I think it's really important to try to like quiet the noise and really listen to your gut, because that is the genesis for like every choice that you should make and everything that you should do. My partner, our CEO at Right Way, Rhea Fry, she says it all the time. I don't feel it in my gut. I feel it in my gut. And we have made we make a lot of great decisions on whether to proceed down a certain path or not, based on that gut. And one of the things that we always tell our clients is, and one of the things that a lot of the guests on our podcast say, a lot of the things that keep coming up is like knowing yourself, knowing what you are willing to do, knowing what you can live with, knowing what your true want is, and I think to really know that, you got to feel it in your gut. So trust your gut.
Cool. And then, I mean, when you were thinking that, and then I thought, oh, if I say this wrong, it sounds dirty. So we start with metaphorically.
There we go.
Connect gut to gut, that is the best connection.
True.
See, if I left the metaphorically out, people would go, yeah. Anyway, I asked her if she made it. She asked me if I was rich. I said, no, never mind. I love Groucho. Anyway.
Just a little Groucho, just a touch of Groucho.
Yeah. I once shot an elephant in my pajamas. What he was doing in my pajamas, I'll never know. Anyway, so from Animal Crackers.
Inside of a dog is too dark to read.
That's right.
Classic.
Or the other favorite line in there, will you marry me? Are you rich? Answer the second place and I'll consider the place. Anyway, so before we get to your shameless self-promotion,
yes,
I like to give the guest this one. I always like to say this because a lot of people don't like know this. And then I sort of always knew this, but I've just started living it recently. And then if you've never seen the America Ferrara TEDx talk, go see it. It's the most powerful TEDx talk I ever saw, and it just really hit my heart. But you know who America Ferrara is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, traveling pants. And yeah, okay. So anyways, drum roll. So the one and only unique, authentic you, that is your genius and your superpower. There's no one like you in the world. And the way you find your genius or superpower is just be you. You're one and only, unique, authentic you. So go out there and do that. I got applause from you. Yes. Whoa.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
All right. And so now, shameless self-promotion. Plug. You first and then me.
Please visit rightwayco.com. What? Oh, yeah. Would you? Rightwayco.com. Check out all of our products, services, and content. And please, if you are interested, you can reach out to any of us at Rightway via email. Listen to our podcast. It's everywhere you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, etc. It's called the Right Way Podcast. It's every week, drops every Tuesday. We got one dropping tomorrow. We got a really, really, really spectacular guest. So you're going to want to check that out. Subscribe, rate, review, comment, etc. Let us know what we're doing. Let us know what we're not doing. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Is the guest a secret, or can you drop their name?
I will let it. I will let her name.
I like it.
Drop with the episode. Yeah.
We have a fantastic guest tomorrow. Go see our podcast.
She's great. She's got a huge. What's that?
What's it named? The podcast.
Our podcast is called the Right Way Podcast.
Oh, okay, cool. But the right way is spelled WRITEWAY.
It's a play on words, see?
Yeah, I know.
Play on
and
words.
Don't forget the co when you're typing in the website. It's really awesome.
Don't forget the co.
I'm so stoked. I got to get my book out, and I want to work with you and all those kind of things. So actually, I'm going to put my plug in, but it's a little sad. So I'm moving. So even though I usually am on Mondays at 3:30 p.m. PST, 6:30 EST, like today, and Saturdays at 12:30 p.m. PST, 3:30 EST. I will not be on again until February 13th.
Ooh.
So, and on February 13th, well, because I'm going to be moving and I'm going to pack, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to pack up my studio and put it in the pod. I got a pod. I'm going to drive across country. So, but I'll figure out a way to stay LinkedIn and involved, and I might do like phone videos, but I hate those because they always look like, you know, you're saying something deep and someone's going, hey, look, he has a hair in his nostril.
Where are you moving? Where are you moving to?
Well, I will let you know. There's a teaser. Come February 13th.
Let it drop. Let it drop. I don't want to know. I don't want to know right now.
I'll tell you the rest of the show, but
all right.
So anyway, no, it was a pleasure having you on. I mean,
Mark, thank you so much, as always. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was great having you on. And I always end my shows with this: living your best life creates a better world for everyone. So get out there and live your best life. Just like Joe said, just like I say, find your voice, live your voice, tell your story, whatever. It's great. So see you all February 13th. Thank you for being on my show as I hit the mic. I know. He's so professional. Anyways, I'm going to sign off. See you later.